I am Laura O'Brien, partner at Hodge Jones and Allen and head of the protest team. And today I'll be addressing you on sentencing in protest cases, legal framework and practical considerations. The first question then is, what do we mean by protest? There isn't specifically a right to protest, but the European Convention on Human Rights protects under Article 10, freedom of expression, and under Article 11, freedom of assembly. And taken together, they are generally considered to be the right to protest. You will often see Article 9, freedom of thought, conscience, and belief, also invoked in relation to protest cases. So when we are talking about sentencing in protest cases, we are talking about sentencing in cases where those convention rights are engaged. It is always worth going back to what actually Articles 10 and 11 say and what they protect. So Article 10(1), everyone has the right to freedom of expression. This right shall include freedom to hold opinions and to receive and impart information and ideas without interference by public authority and regardless of frontiers. Importantly, freedom of expression doesn't just protect words. It can also protect actions, expressive protests, including painting, throwing of paint, physical acts. Now moving on to practical considerations. How do you approach sentencing in light of that legal framework that we've already set out? Now, one thing I like to remind myself and my colleagues is that when you are defending a protester in relation to a criminal charge, it's important to remind yourself that you represent them as an individual, you do not represent the movement. That is not to say that the motivations or nature of the movement that they associate with isn't relevant and isn't highly relevant to what they care about, but we are representing first and foremost the individual, and we have to take an individualistic approach to sentencing. Having said that, sentencing in protest cases does require a specific approach and engages a specific legal framework. I would say that the closest comparison to this is the sentencing regime and the general legal framework in relation to youth and young people. The individual circumstances of the defendant remain as important as in any other sentencing exercise and should be highlighted. So the obvious are age, maturity, dependence, previous convictions, health, and the impact of a custodial sentence.